Today we'll read something about OMICRON, created news recently, last 3 months or so. Channel the name is Heartbeat. My name is Dr. Ambedkar. In this, we'll just discuss some basic features of OMICRON regarding infectivity and reinfection. Introduction. It is just a variant of coronavirus. There are multiple mutations in OMICRON, and this variant has been named as OMICRON. Coronavirus basically is a chapter that was till recently neglected in the medical books. Nobody used to read about it, just a few pages or a paragraph. And today it has become a disease of international importance throughout the world. Now, Omicron is transmitted faster than the Delta variant, and usually it is less virulent. Affects the throat mainly, and the lungs are spared. So, if it is affecting the throat and sparing the lungs, the hospitalizations may have increased, but not the mortality. Symptoms. It commonly starts with a scratchy throat, fever, which usually resolves in 3 days. If fever persists more than 3 days, then we should consider it to be moderate to severe infection. Patient may have body ache and backache. Backache may be severe. There can be a loss of appetite. Generalized weakness, fatigue, and headache can be present. Cold, that is a running nose and sneezing, can be present. Cough, which is usually dry, resolves in the next 3 days of the symptoms. And an unusual symptom is night sweats. Protocol. So, if any of those symptoms develop, then you should get yourself tested. Or within 72 hours of exposure to a confirmed patient, you should get tested. If RAT is positive, rapid antigen, or RT-PCR positive, stay isolated. I've already put up guidelines, some basic outline how to stay home isolated. If rapid antigen test is negative and you're having symptoms, do the RT-PCR. It is a highly contagious disease and may infect others within a day of infection and may be infectious to others before the development of symptoms. So combining these two, just suppose you get infection today and the next you develop symptoms after 3 days. So you are infective to the others from today to the 3 days before the onset, before you actually realize that you are having infection. And even after development of symptoms, you still can infect others. For how many days, that is not defined yet. Usually it is said to be 5 to 7 days. Reinfection. Now it has been seen that has got chances of reinfection 5 to 6 times more than the Delta virus. So if a patient has got infection today, recovers, then he's got chances of 5 to 6 times more than the Delta variant. Prior COVID infection vaccination does not provide immunity. Yes, the consequences may be less, but it does not protect you from Omicron infection. And so it means that may evade immunity provided by prior infection or vaccination. And if you get a second infection amount, which is much more, and delayed after the first time you get Omicron, then the more likely chances of getting a reinfection. So if you get a second infection immediately after the first infection, the chances of Omicron are less. But if the second infection amount is more, then yes, and delayed after the first infection, then more chances of getting the infection, reinfection. Again, the special tests are available for Omicron variant, which can be detected by lab investigations. These may not be easily available, and many times it is not done in many countries throughout the world. Personal protection guidelines remain the same. A mask that covers your nose and mouth, ideally N95, and clean hands when you put it on and remove your mask. Should not touch the front of the mask. From others, maintain a physical distance, at least 1 meter, wearing a mask. Avoid poorly ventilated or crowded spaces. Open windows to improve ventilation indoors. Wash your hands regularly. And get vaccinated when your turn comes. Treatment. Predominantly, it is a self-limiting disease, and most of the patients just require some simple preliminary treatment. So if the patient is usually mild symptomatic, may need antipyretics for fever, nasal decongestants, and steam inhalation or betadine gargles. Future. Let us hope for a variant that is less virulent and less transmissible. But it is unlikely to be the last variant. More variants are expected, and this is not going to be the last of the pandemics. More pandemics may be there in the future, perhaps after 20 years or 50 years, and we should learn how to take protection from them. Thank you for watching the video. Please do not forget to like the video. Feel free to give comments. Please subscribe to the channel and share the link with your friends. Thank you once again.